What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into this video to make your notes page an example for our upcoming class on comparing slopes. I want to real quick remind you about this previous work that you did, because we're going to have to write an equation here, or interpret an equation rather, to find the slope. So remember with Ms. Nelson's seedling, it grew 2 new leaves each week. So the units of the slope were leaves per week, and you see repeatedly added 2. The effect of repeatedly adding 2 is the same as multiplying 2, and here this is the number of times you've added it. So like once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, plug in that number, right? So this is the number that is the slope, the number that we multiply by x. Okay, good. So here we go, and let's look at the cost of Verizon. You can see that T meaning total cost. So total cost equals 55 multiplied by M, the number of months. So the units of the slope are y over x, right? Remember, slope is change in y divided by change in x, or the difference in y divided by the difference of x. So that means our units are, since this is total cost in dollars per week. And in this case, of course, it's $55 per week. Okay. So now let's look at T-Mobile, where we get a table. And we could use this table to draw a graph. We could try to figure it out that way. We definitely could represent the data that way. But we still need to figure out how much it costs for one, sorry, I said week here, this is month. So this is per 1 month, and the slope tells us how much y changes every time x increases by 1. So we need to figure out what is the change per 1 month here. So what we can do is we can label x1, y1, and x2, y2. And remember that slope m equals the change in y. That's y2 minus y1 divided by the change in x, the difference in x. Okay, so now let's substitute. When we substitute, remember, we have to keep these minus signs here. We can't, we just have to be very careful of the signs. So now let's substitute. Oh, shoot. Okay, so my y2 is 312. My y1 is 156. Make sure those are coming from y. And now x2 minus x1. So if you use a calculator or if you do some quick math, 312 minus 156 equals 156. 6 minus 3 equals 3. And then 156 divided by 3 is 52. So here for T-Mobile, I'm going to write it over here. $52 per month. So Verizon, $55 per month, and T-Mobile, $52 per month. Finally, we have AT&T, and we need to figure out what these points are. So double check this. This is 5, 0. It looks like this is counting by 1. Let's try it out. We can erase because we should be using pencil, or you see my erasable pen. So let's try it out with our eraser ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5. Good job. You did it. Okay. So at this point, you can choose the two easiest points that you know. Here you know 0, 0, and here you know 2, 100. Make sure you understand that this is X. So my months are X, and then this is Y. My total cost is Y. Okay, so I showed you how to do this graphically. So this one is pretty easy to do graphically. So let's do it that way. We said first count how far it is to the right, and then put that in the denominator. So remember, slope equals some kind of fraction here. And from the point on the left, start with the point on the left. It's right, because this is always going to be to the right. And how far is it? 1, so 0, 1, 2. Now, how far up is it? Well, it's from y equals 0 to y equal 100. So be careful. The scale is different on X and on Y. So this is up. Make sure you think about whether we're going up or down. In this case, it's up. And how far? From y equals 0 to y equal 100. So it's up 100 units. 100 divided by 2 is 50. So this is $50 per month. So we have our three costs now. Verizon turns out to be the most expensive one, and AT&T is the least expensive one, T-Mobile falling in the middle. So one thing that we haven't talked about yet is how tilted the slopes are going to be. So which one will be flattest? The flattest slope will be the one with the lowest costs. It goes up the most gradually, whereas the other ones go up faster because they have greater slopes. So what are the plans from least expensive to most expensive? So we're going to put the least over here, which is less than the most. So there's a less than side. The least is less than some number, which is less than the most. Okay, so the one that is least here is $50 per month. $50 AT&T. Then in the middle, we have T-Mobile. Which is less than Verizon at 55. Okay, finally, write an equation for T-Mobile and for AT&T. Well, just like here, we repeatedly added 2 leaves every week. For T-Mobile, we are repeatedly adding $52. So total cost increases by $52 per month. So that means that we have y equals $52 times X, where Y is total cost, X is number of months. Sorry about that. There. The same thing over here. AT&T at $50 per month. So total cost, Y equals 50 times X, where Y is the total cost and X is the number of months.